The Mini brand has become an oxymoron because the cars are not Mini anymore, because this Countryman is the biggest Mini ever. This is the third generation of the Mini Countryman. This is the Countryman C, where C could stand for Cooper or comfort. Not really. C actually stands for combustion because E stands for electric with the Cooper E or the Countryman E, and this car is in the favored trim, which is only one trim available, which is priced at rupees 56.42 lakhs on Mumbai. This is actually assembled in India, so yes, the pricing is actually quite aggressive. Now the key of the vehicle is obviously a bit hard. This is to lock the car, unlock the car, open the boot, and this is for hazard, I believe. It says Mini here. You get the digital NFC key card as well. Just tap to unlock the car, and you can obviously pair it to your phone. Just tap your phone and the car will unlock as well. In fact, when you approach the car will automatically unlock, and when you walk away, the car will automatically lock as well. And when you approach the car, the lights do a welcome animation as well. Even the tail lights do that animation, which is quite cool. Straight away, let's open the engine bay, and you might just shut the video when you realize that this car is powered by a 3-cylinder engine. Yeah, 3 cylinders. Why Mini? Why? You get gas struts, you get insulation there. Engine bay has a lot more space because obviously the 2-liter B48 engine also sits in the JCW here. However, here we have the B38, unfortunately. Now, in terms of design, they call it charismatic simplicity. Where do they even come up with such names? Yeah, that is the new design language of this car. And the Countryman actually is very big in terms of size, because it's like bigger than a Jeep Compass now. Here you get a camera that is for lane keep assist, says Mini right there, rain sensor for obviously automatic wipers. And in terms of design, it's actually quite bold. You get a front parking camera. This is the panel which is actually the radar for ADAS. It has level 1, not level 2. The Mini logo here with this gold finishing, and that sort of gold finishing is here as well. That is the provision for the towing hook. This moustache is there, which is actually the octagonal grille, and it gets power domes on the bonnet as well. Now these are matrix LED headlights which have Mini written inside. Now the lights are actually quite cool because you can change the animation of the DRLs, because you have that option as well, which is obviously very nice. Here you get 6 parking sensors because this car has obviously got self park as well. And now the horn is sounding because the key is in my pocket and I am outside the car. Now this car is available in 5 colors. This is actually the British racing green, which looks quite cool, and the size of this car has actually increased because the length is longer by 130 mm at almost 4.4 meters. Yeah, this is quite long. This car's height has increased by 80 mm, making it the tallest in the segment. It has the highest ground clearance in the segment of 190 mm. Yeah, it looks quite big. Coming to the wheels of the car, they are actually made of recycled aluminium to reduce the weight of the vehicle. 245/45, 19 is the size of the tires. You can actually opt for up to 21-inch wheels. You have to obviously pay for that. And the design of the alloy wheels is actually quite nice. I like it. You get this body cladding running throughout the car. This sort of treatment as well, which reduces the visual bulk. You have it here as well with this golden treatment. You get a camera here. It projects the Mini logo on the floor at night. That also happens. Get gloss finishing on the outside rear view mirrors, on the A pillar, B pillar, C pillar, D pillar, as well as on the roof. So yeah, black finishing on the roof. You get these roof rails which are functional, so you can put a roof box or a roof rack if you want to carry more luggage as well. Not really a shark fin antenna, but that's kind of different. You get this design treatment here, which is also quite unique, and it says it's compliant up to E25, but ethanol will make it E30 soon. So how do you drive this car after a few years? I really don't know. The door handles are a bit different. Here you just pull them like this, pull out type ones, and the car automatically locked because I went far away from it. Now I like the design of the alloy wheels. Coming to the rear of the car, you realize that it's a typical Mini because you obviously get the Union Jack here. Now you can customize this as well, and obviously when you approach the car, it does this nice welcome animation. It says Countryman here, the Mini logo, all this gold finish. I don't know why. You get a rear wiper washer. You get a high mounted stop lamp, sort of a rear spoiler, and the camera actually gets a cleaning function too, which is quite cool. That is the rear fog of the vehicle. This is obviously the provision for your towing hook. You get reflected treatment on both the sides. Where is the exhaust? Because the design is similar to the electric, the exhaust is actually hidden. It's no longer visible. It's probably visible on the JCW, the John Cooper Works, which is like the flagship. Now, if you notice, the indicator is functioning here at the moment. The reverse light also functions somewhere there. Let's open the boot. It's a power tailgate. So here I press a button and there it opens. Now the boot is 505 liters, which is actually quite big. You can fold the seat down in 40-20-40 format to increase the boot carrying capacity all the way to 1450 liters, making this Mini actually quite practical as well. There is no manual in this car, gayab hogi. I don't know why these holes are open here. And you actually get a 12-volt charging socket here, light placement, a hook here on both the sides, and the spare wheel is there, which is smaller size, 135/80/17. It's not an alloy. There is the toolkit with the jack and all those things. But yeah, having a spare tire is actually a boon in this day and age. Here you get the button to turn off, shut the power tailgate, and the warning triangle has been neatly placed there. So it's a practical Mini. Let's get inside. At the rear, you will realize there's actually good amount of space. Firstly, the seat reclines by up to 25 degrees when in its most upright position. Only a bag can sit there, nobody else can sit there. So this is completely reclined, this is completely upright, this is pushed all the way ahead, this is pushed all the way behind. The seats slide by up to 130 mm. Door pockets are really big at the rear. Nice treatment here. Again, knitted fabric. This is actually recycled knitted fabric here on the dashboard and all those things, which is good for the environment but really bad because this is open pore. In dusty conditions like ours, it will become dirty and very difficult to clean. There is no rear sunblind. This should have been added here for sure. Doors open decently wide, and this is obviously for the child lock. You put the key and you flip it. This car has got no chrome, no leather for environmental reasons. Yeah, Mini is like, we are very environment conscious, and that's the reason why this car is actually based on the previous generation cars platform for the combustion engine models. Meanwhile, the electric is the way forward for Mini, unfortunately. Now the seat recline angle is good, says Mini here. Brown interior. In fact, there's good amount of foot room, there's good amount of knee room as well, good amount of leg room as well. Under thigh support is decent, not the best, and headroom seems adequate enough for someone as tall as me. The recline angle is good, so overall this is a comfortable car to be in, and you get a center armrest with 2 cup holders. Center passenger also gets a head rest. Yeah, all adjustable headrests in this car except for the front ones, which are fixed because these are JCW sport seats here, but there is no seat ventilation. What? And you get the tickling function here obviously. This is scooped out. You get a magazine holder here, you get 2 USB-C charging sockets, air conditioning vents, and this is to turn on and off the air conditioner, which is actually quite cool. Yeah, very unique, and there's some storage space here, but this protrudes, which means a middle passenger is absolutely not welcome here. No height adjustable seat belt, a handle to hold on to, well damped. There's a hook, there's a light placement here on the top. Chalu ho jao bhai. And you get this massive panoramic glass roof as well. The dashboard is a hit or a miss. I'll tell you why. Because everything is stuffed in that touchscreen, which is very frustrating. I don't know why they have done it, but yeah, it is what it is. So rear seat experience is actually good by Mini standards. Let's get out. And let me tell you that honestly, the car is quite practical. I didn't expect this level of practicality from a Mini, but they have surprised, and how in a good way. The design is a bit polarizing, I feel. I'm not a big fan of the design. Okay, indicator is functioning here at the moment. Car is getting very honky, horny, whatever that is. And let's get inside. First things first, it gets the sports steering, which is quite nice to hold because you get this strap here, which is very like stiff, looks nice, feels nice, good to hold definitely. It gets powered seats, so you get memory function. I press a button here and the seat's position will obviously change because I've set it that way. But these are sport seats. I can't understand how there is no seat ventilation at this price. Mini branding here. You get a proper dead pedal. Nice design for the brake and accelerator pedal as well. Pull this twice and the bonnet opens. You don't need to pull a latch there. Door pockets are big enough at the front. This is to open the boot, power tailgate. Small buttons to lock and unlock the vehicle. Switch gear seems fine here. This also feels quite unique. In fact, this knitted fabric is unique, but trust me on this, it's going to get very dirty. At the rear, it's obviously completely brown. Here, it's like color is changing. This is the tweeter. It gets a 12 speaker Harman Kardon hi-fi sound system with good audio quality. Now let's step inside, and straight away let me tell you, the lack of an instrument cluster is a very stupid decision because it is so difficult to operate everything using this touchscreen. First things first, let me turn off the indicator. This is massive, this is huge. Let's open it. It opens also quite big. Yeah, there it's opening. This glass roof brings in a lot of airiness inside the cabin, which is fantastic. And now I press it once again and it opens even further. The problem is now they are relying only on one switch to open the blind as well as the glass, which is not such a good thing as far as ergonomics go. There's a mic placement here, there as well. There's a mirror here along with the light. Same is the case here as well. This does not extend, it's fixed. There's an interior selfie camera here, and to turn on the lights, you just press it like this and there they turn on. Auto dimming mirror. Now this is not very hard. However, there is a lot of hard plastics on the dashboard, like really very hard, not expected at this price point. Even lower down, a lot of hard plastics. Here in the glove box, I realized that space is okay, but doesn't get the cooling function. I mean, it could be a bigger glove box, but yeah, no cooling function there. This is a wireless charging pad. Here, there's some storage space. Twin cup holders here, some storage space here as well. Two USB-C charging sockets along with a 12 volt. This does not open, but it slides ahead and behind. Why does this not open? What's there inside? And there is this box wherein you can keep stuff with the MINI branding. Now, people who like funky stuff will definitely like this fabric. I'm not a big fan of it because I know it gets dirty very fast. Steering is adjustable both for reach as well as rake, but manual only. And you get a heads-up display, which is nice. Every time you turn off the car, it goes inside. Every time you turn on the car, it obviously comes out. Now it shows you vital data there. It also shows you navigation data, but it keeps changing depending on the drive mode. So there are 8 drive modes. They call it experiences. They call this some island, toggle island actually, which is good, but only a few buttons. So this is obviously to turn on and off the audio system, and this is also for volume control and go to a next track. This is the experiences, which is like the drive modes. This is to turn on the vehicle, so it's twist to turn on, so it's sort of a key thingy feel here. And this is the gear selector. This is the electric parking brake. Here you can just come into the ADAS functions along with the drive modes. This is for the parking camera, hazard lights, and this is for the front and rear demister. That's about it. Everything else is in this screen, which is a 9.44-inch OLED screen. It gets a coating, a special coating to prevent any sort of glare. It's very high resolution. I love it, but this circular screen has every function in this car because there is no instrument cluster only. Now, here are buttons for the audio system voice commands. This is obviously for the cruise control. The horn. The horn is nice and loud as well. AC vents are quite unique, easy to operate them too. However, why have they put everything inside the screen? Every time you turn on the car, it has this nice animation, very funky design, and every time you change the experiences, it makes a weird sound as well. So here you can see there are 8 different experiences. So I come in trail. Did you hear that sound? So here it will show you what is the direction you are going. It brings the compass and incline meter and all those things, including what is your exact GPS position. So this is basically the trail mode. Then there is the balance mode, which is closing the sunroof. I don't know why. So depending on the modes, it obviously alters a lot of things, including turning on seat massage and all those things. That's actually quite cool. And then there's timeless, which is like the classic cluster. Can you hear the sound? Every time I change it, it makes this weird sound. Then there is vivid, which prioritizes, I think, audio system. See, there it turns on the audio source. And personal lets you actually change the wallpaper. So you can decide the wallpapers, you can add them using the MINI app. You can put a wallpaper of a Mercedes GLA as well. So yeah, those things are also very much possible. And obviously the whole color theme changes accordingly. Green is obviously the efficient drive mode of the car, wherein it tells you what's your bonus range for driving efficiently. And obviously if you get inside the cluster mode, or rather this infotainment system, all the colors will accordingly change as well. This is balance. No, that was core actually. And then there is go kart, which is like the sport drive mode, and when you activate it, obviously DSC turns off as well. Chalu ho ja bhai. Did you hear that sound? Woohoo! It does that weirdly. Now, in terms of air conditioning, you have to get into this particular menu to operate the air conditioning, which is actually very frustrating. Union jack here. So you have the fuel meter, the RPM meter here, and then you can obviously come into speedometers. By the way, it has got heating, and then you can operate the air conditioning temperature from here. There are 2 zones, so you can change them from here, and accordingly like put it the way you want. You have got navigation, which actually is very high resolution, works fantastically well. Obviously, you've got Apple CarPlay, Android Auto connectivity, both of which work wirelessly, naturally. And then you can browse through like this. Now, depending on the various experiences, this obviously changes. And the best part is you have got inbuilt weather as well, because this car obviously has got an eSIM. So it's telling you what is the expectation of rain and all. I actually like the infotainment system as an infotainment system, not as an instrument cluster. There are so many freaking widgets. It's unfreaking believable. So there is something known as drive recorder, which lets you record from all the 4 cameras of the car. Then you can obviously change the experiences from here, or from using this particular toggle. You've got Wi-Fi here, you've got an interior camera here, which I already spoke about, for which you have to obviously log into the BMW ID. Then there's something known as interior lighting, wherein ambient lights can be changed, and unless and until you are in personal mode, I don't think you can do it. So let's come into personal mode. It's very frustrating. I have never been so frustrated in my life, because this thing really gets to me. How many times you have to keep pressing buttons to reach one particular command. Now there are 18 colors here, and you can just tell the car to surprise you, so it will automatically randomly pick a color and choose that for you. Ambient light obviously comes somewhere here. It also comes here. As well as here, because it's projecting from here. So yeah, ambient lighting is actually quite cool in this car, but it's just so frustrating to use it. Now I'm so baffled. In fact, this seat also gets massage function, and to get to the massage you have to go all the way to seat comfort, then come into massage, then turn on massage, and there are 4 different massage options here: activation, relaxation, revitalization, and invigoration. I can't even say that. What? Can you just keep it simple, please, for someone as dumb as me? Anyways, so there is the speedometer mode, and there are 8 different speedometer modes, because depending on the various experiences you are in, this also changes, which is actually quite nice. I really like it, because at least you can see it big. You know what? The original Mini, as well as the Mini which BMW bought in 2001, also had the speedometer here, but the Mini which BMW bought in 2001 also had an instrument cluster with a tachometer there. So I'm not understanding why they are removing everything from here and putting it here, simply because they want to cut costs. Obviously, this is a proper cost cutting measure which BMW has done here. Now, so many widgets, so much confusion, open source compliance. Why do I even care about this? Please tell me, how does it matter that XYZ people have worked in making this Mini OS 9 system? It's not my problem, but they have put a widget there as well, unnecessarily overloaded. It has a 128 GB inbuilt memory, so obviously you can have maps and all those, but 71 GB is taken by the system itself, which is a lot. You've got voice commands, you've got mini assistants as well, and you know what, you can pair a game controller too, which is quite cool. Connect a device and then you can play that as well. Now I was telling you about this cool thing about being able to change the various DRLs. So here you come into this menu, it will not let you do it right now. You know why? Because the car has to be turned off. Function available only when drive ready state is switched off. So now you can actually change. अरे भाई मैं कुछ कर रहा था, goodbye बोल दिया, थोड़ी तो तमीज रखो. You know, you can see how frustrating it can get. It makes no sense why they would put everything in this screen. So here, classic, which is the classic Mini one. There's favored, which is this particular variant, and there's the John Cooper Works, the JCW one. Same thing you can change at the front as well. So this obviously lets you customize a few things, which is nice, which actually brings me to the 360-degree parking camera, for which I think I need to press this button, and there it is. So you can get a full view here. Now when you're in parking, it actually changes the camera direction. Okay, first things first, let's turn on the car and then change the steering wheel angle. See, it's actually showing me the number plate here. So it does it both for the front as well as the rear camera, which is quite cool. It's a software tweak. The camera doesn't move. The camera is static here. Parking assistance, front and rear. Then there's the 3D view, which is quite nice. You can just move it like this, but you don't get a top view so easily. Yeah, try to get into the top view. It comes down unless you press this button here and then you press the front camera, then it will go from the top. Actually, it matches the color of the car, which is quite a nice thing. There's a car wash mode as well. Camera quality is quite good. I really like it, and obviously it has a bird's eye view, so if you're hitting an obstacle, it will automatically change the camera position to show you from that particular angle. That is obviously there as well. Then this car's obviously got self park, it's got reversing assistant, it can park out from a parking, exit a parking and all those things. So yeah, that automatic parking function works really well in this car. So yes, there's so much in this screen, but it's also very frustrating to use. They should have had more physical buttons. They should have had an instrument cluster, mandatory. An instrument cluster should never be missed, because why do I have to go through so many functions to operate such basic things? It just doesn't make any sense whatsoever. This could have been done a lot better. I think in terms of the focus on cost cutting, they just realized that India is not a cost sensitive market, because you're not playing on costs here. You're already pricing your car at such a high price, wherein you cannot afford to give us a car without an instrument cluster. It's just not cool. I don't like it, period. And to make matters worse, there are no paddle shifters here, but there's a way to actually get into manual mode, which is a hidden trick, which I'll show you when we start driving this car. So let's give the SUV of the Mini, or SUV Mini, or Mini of SUV, whatever, the beans. Alright, let's start driving by first turning off the car and then turning it back on. Every time you turn on the car, it makes some weird sound here. Every time you change the drive mode, it makes some weird sound here. First things first, air conditioning off. Secondly, we should come in the trail mode here. Heard that sound? Yeah, weird. Anyways, straight away I come into speedometer. Yeah, lot of moving around. That's a bit of a problem. Hazard lights off, into drive, and off we go. Now the car is actually very smooth. In fact, even the heads up display has changed. Yeah, the car is extremely smooth, which is unexpected considering this is actually a 3-cylinder engine known as the B38. It's a 1.5 liter unit which produces 156 horsepower and a torque output. Oopsie doopsie doo, what am I doing? Yeah, so that wasn't great. Anyways, so in terms of performance, you will not really complain, because even though this is just a 3-cylinder engine, it does offer good amount of grunt. Torque output 240 Newton meters. Meanwhile, it goes from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in a claimed 9 seconds, which is actually 3 business days for something of this price, 56.42 lakhs. Pay around 22 lakhs more, so be 79 lakhs to get the JCW, the John Cooper Works, which gets the B48 engine, the 2-liter 4-cylinder engine, which produces double the horsepower almost. Yeah, 300 horsepower, and torque output is 400 Newton meters. The result is it goes from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in just 5.4 seconds. That's blisteringly quick. 22 lakhs. Well spent, I feel. But the thing is, in order to get that car, you have to pay a lot more money, obviously. And that, oh my god, what is happening? The sunroof is moving. I just changed the mode and then my camera is mounted, so that kind of fumbled, and now I'm a little confused where I am. I absolutely hate this. Like, I don't know how badly I hate this, but I hate it because it is just so distracting, so difficult to use. Who does this? I don't understand why a premium brand like Mini would do something like this. Anyways, this is front wheel drive. The JCW, the John Cooper Works, is all-wheel drive. It's known as the All-4, so it's able to put all that power down. So obviously, way better performance there. Performance is okay here. The engine is not good actually, because it doesn't have good amount of grunt lower down. Doesn't have good grunt in the top end either. It's just mid-range nice because it's a turbocharged engine. The same characteristic, but same displacement. We get 4 cylinders from the VW group. Yeah, the 1.5 liter EA211 is actually 4-cylinder. This is 3-cylinder for I don't know what freaking reason. Claimed efficiency is around 15.92 kilometers per liter. So around 16 kilometers per liter is the claimed number. But in the real world, expect this to return 6 kilometers per liter, which it is right now, which is quite poor actually, because obviously the car is on the heavier side. Now it is based on the same platform as the BMW X1, the UK L2 platform, Doesn't give you the premium feel, honestly. They're trying to give you the go-kart feel here, which is sort of there, but then because of the bigger size and the weight, that go-kart feel has diminished quite a bit. The steering is actually a lovely unit here. It's accurate, it's fast, and it's sharp as well, which makes it a joy to drive this car. Ample ground clearance, so no issue on that front. And again, I'm going to change the drive mode. I'm going to come to the timeless one. Heard that sound? Weird. Okay, straight away we are in the speedometer. Thankfully, I have no clue what RPM I'm driving at, because this is just not usable, and that is too chintu mintu or small to really understand. So we are in a fix, paying so much money yet not getting a proper instrument cluster here. Anyways, top speed of this car 212 kilometers per hour. Meanwhile, the John Cooper Works has a top speed of 250 kilometers per hour. So the JCW is very, very, very fast. Dude, you should obviously give me some space, bro. Because I mean, I could give you a punch, but you are itself a punch. But he also has the L sign, which stands for...
Oh, what a loser!
You tell me? Yeah? Long wheelbase? No. Anyways, even I have a nice horn here, so why not use it? Engine is actually quite smooth and refined. You don't feel that this is a 3-cylinder engine in any way whatsoever, which is the beauty of this car. Superb. The engine is just superb for a 3-cylinder, but it's not BMW good superb. I mean, this engine doesn't deserve to be in any BMW or any Mini model, and especially not in the biggest Mini, which is a Countryman, because it just doesn't get the job done. 0 to 100 kilometers per hour, like I told you, 9 seconds is too much time, bro. You're like 56 lakh rupee car taking so long to go from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour. Absolutely unacceptable. I mean, how and why is it so slow? God only knows, because of the lack of power or performance here. It has a 7-speed dual clutch automatic gearbox, which is quick with shifts, but there's a huge problem. There are no paddle shifters. There's no manual control on the gearbox either. What? Yeah, that's right. There is an L mode which keeps lower gas, and there's a D mode. There's no S mode here either. What is Mini up to? I am absolutely shocked. It's very frustrating to drive this car because you have absolute no manual control. Okay, there's a small trick which I'll show you right away. By first actually changing the mode and coming into vivid. Yeah, you play that sound first because that's more important than anything else in the world. And then I come into speedometer. Now notice one thing. We are in low mode. I keep this D button pressed. Now I have to keep it pressed for almost 20 seconds. So bear with me right now. So yeah, that's how it is. By the way, Mini has completely discontinued manual. I don't know what's wrong with the brand. How can you discontinue manual? How can you put the freaking instrument cluster in this particular screen? That makes no sense whatsoever. Anyway, I'm going to keep this button pressed for 20 seconds now. You see M6 manual. Now we are in manual mode. But how do I operate the gearbox if I don't have paddles? Using the cruise control button. So using this, I downshift here, and using this, I upshift here. So the cruise control button now becomes the gas selector button, but it does not hold on to a gear. It will upshift as soon as as soon as it hits the red line, which comes in at around 6,500 RPM. Yeah, car moves about quite a bit because it's very stiff. Now it's very stiff, so you have to hold the steering very hard. That's a bit of a problem, but the sound is also not that loud on the inside. At high speeds you can hear a bit of the wind noise and the road noise, but overall refinement levels, I'm telling you, is fantastic for a 3-cylinder engine. Doesn't sound sporty. Mid-range is good. The top end just doesn't have the meaniness to it. So I'm really disappointed by the powertrain, and this whole trick of trying to come into manual mode is like very weird. It's something I've never heard of, and I don't even know why it is the way it is. I believe this car should have got the B48 engine, not the B38, because there's no replacement for displacement, and you can't give 3 cylinders at this price point. Absolutely unacceptable. I hated the 2 Series because of the same engine. The earlier 2 Series also had a 220D. They could have probably given a diesel engine in this car. Then it would be acceptable to have this engine. But being the sole engine, absolutely no. I am not at all impressed by that. In fact, this is the favored trim. There are usually 4 trims. So favored is like the second from top. Then there's the JCW, which is obviously the top variant always. Yeah, it takes its own sweet time to respond. Anyways, I'll show you a very funny thing. It's going to shock you. We're coming to this personal mode. And again, to turn on the speedometer, actually the speed is coming here on the top, but if you want a proper speedometer with a tacho and all, you have to get into the menu and then change it, and this is how it looks. So we have manual control right now, which is actually fantastic. Oh, you can feel the bump. You can feel all the bumps. The car is so freaking stiff. Ride quality is not good at all, but body control is absolutely fantastic. Handling is quite nice actually, in spite of the height of the car, in spite of the weight of the car, in spite of the size of the car. It's actually quite fun. Obviously, it's not having the go-kart feel of the Cooper, but still, when you factor in the whole segment, this is the most engaging and fun car to drive. Now I'll show you something very funny. Okay, now you're going to come to a halt here. Okay, now we are in manual mode. Notice I'm in manual mode. I think let's do one run before me showing you that other trick of mine. So first things first, I'm going to change the drive mode and I am going to come into the go-kart mode, which is obviously the best mode. It says activate go-kart. You have to turn off a DSC, which is dynamic stability control. Now left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator, and automatic hold activated by brake pedal, and off we go. Did you hear the wheel spin? Okay, there was a pause before the shift. 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 9.08 seconds, which is actually quite impressive considering the claim time. So I have been able to get the claim time here. I'm going to change it again, the cluster mode, because we came into the core mode, and oh my god, this is so frustrating. What's happening? This car loves fuel. It absolutely loves it. It's drinking like it's having sugarcane in it. It is actually 20% ethanol in my fuel. The heights of adulteration, I cannot even, I'm speechless. So the competitors of this car: Mercedes GLA, BMW's own X1, the Audi Q3, the main rivals obviously, and it's the Mercedes GLA, which is sort of the good car in the segment. Even the X1 is a good car in the segment with the same platform, but the X1 costs rupees 4 lakhs more. The GLA also costs rupees 4 lakhs more. However, the Q3 actually costs lesser than this car, but the Q3 is on its way out, so it's no point comparing this car with the Q3. Now notice one thing, we're in manual mode. Before that, let me come into another experience, which is green, which is eco-friendly, which is efficient mode, which prioritizes obviously eco-friendly driving to boost the fuel efficiency of this car. Turn on the speedometer here. Now I'm in manual mode, so I come into reverse. I came into reverse, thankfully. Now that manual mode has been discontinued. Okay, this is how it actually works. Now let me come out of this menu. What is happening? Oh my god, how difficult can it get? By the way, if I want to come into the light controls, there's a button here. I press it and straight away I come into the light controls, and the rear window doesn't go down all the way. It only goes down like 70-80%. And let's see how fast it goes from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in green mode. So left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator. Speedometer has vanished again, and here we are. Go, come on. That's 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 3.5 business days, I assume. 3.12 seconds, not bad, huh? So this mode is not slow. The eco mode or the efficiency mode is not slow. I've shown you all the modes. So we come into go-kart mode and we come into activating go-kart mode by deactivating DSC. Here it's showing me how much power and torque is being consumed, G-force meter and all those things. But I'm going to come into the speedometer. Amount of frustration I'm having today, don't even ask. So now this is the speedometer. Now let's see how fast it goes from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour. Left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator. This has to be the best time, and off we go. Rev still only 2,500 RPM. Lot of wheel spin because I turned off traction control. And 0 to 100 kilometers per hour takes 8.53 seconds, which ain't bad at all. Go-kart mode basically turns off traction control, gives you full power, gives quicker shifts. Gearbox is actually quick with shifts, but then that manual trick you have to do, obviously. It has a 60-liter tank. It's guzzling the tank. Look at this. What is this? Distance to empty is like reducing at a very rapid pace. I can't keep up with it. And now we shall get onto this road. Listen to the sound, okay? Listen. Yeah, traction is good actually. Time for the brake test. 100 kilometers per hour. I stand on the brakes. Brakes are good. Stopping power is quite sure-footed as well. And this is the fun of a Mini. I was trying to downshift, but I'm not able to do that. So no engine braking either. That's the disappointing part because Gearbox has L mode. Gearbox doesn't have sport mode. I don't know why Mini has done what they have done, but it just doesn't fit in here perfectly for me because the engine is the weak link. Otherwise, handling is good. Performance and practicality are a bit poles apart because performance isn't great, but practicality is great. So you're buying a Mini for practicality, not for performance. What's happening? The world is going upside down, I think. You end up buying a Mini only for the fun. Now BMW or Mini, they want this car to be under consideration for the buyers who are looking for the X1 or the GLA or the Q3, and that's where they are aiming for, because obviously as the Cooper two-door or as that performance hatchback, the market is very limited. They sold around 500 units only till now, whole year, which is improvement in sales, but still not impressive. That's not great sales for a brand like Mini. Hazard lights off, left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator, and off we go. Now this car has got 5-star rating from Euro NCAP. However, it has got ADAS level 1. How do you get 5-star rating with ADAS level 1? Doggy, what are you doing? 0 to 100 km per hour in 8.76 seconds. Now Mini says they have a buyback offer of 66% value after 3 years, which is actually quite good, honestly. And this car is locally assembled in India, because of which I think the pricing is actually fine. However, for this Chintu Mintu engine, the pricing should have been lower still. And the first generation model of the Countryman came in 2010. The second generation came in 2017. This third generation model came in 2023. And honestly, the car is good. The powertrain simply isn't, because how can you not have paddle shifters at this price? How can you give 3 cylinders at this price? And that's my only gripe with this car. Otherwise, I think in terms of practicality and funkiness, it's gone bonkers. Like, look at the interior. Was this designed by a 4-year-old? Because I absolutely love it. What I don't understand is why are people who have absolutely no clue, interest or passion about car, or are not having any passion for cars, are designing interiors. I mean, someone who hates cars or has no clue about cars can only put the instrument cluster right in that screen. It makes no logical sense whatsoever. And on that disappointment, it's time to end. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, that's the like button, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Bye bye.